There we go. This time, this place was designed for you to see God's grace every moment, so divine. A chance to see the Master's design. If only the Spirit will open our eyes to the truth that this is for your glory, all your glory, everything designed for your glory, all your glory. Oh, 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 for your glory, yeah. Oh, 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 for your glory, yeah. Every trial, every weight, avenues to give you the praise, focusing my heart, pointing others where we all had to start. If only the Spirit will open our eyes to the truth that this is for your glory, all your glory, everything designed for your glory, all your glory. Oh, 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 for your glory, yeah. Oh, 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 for your glory, yeah. Every breath that we take, every word that we speak, everything that we do, may it all point to you, to the truth that this is for your glory, all your glory, everything designed is for your glory, all your glory. Help me live my life for your glory, all your glory, and shine bright for your glory, all your glory. Oh, 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 for your glory, yeah. And oh, 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 for your glory, yeah. For your glory, all your glory. For your glory, all your glory. Hey friends, thank you guys so much for being here. It is so good to be able to see all of you, virtually at least. I know it's not the absolute perfect thing in the world, but I'm super excited that technology allows us to be able to do this. So I told you guys that I was going to go through the entire Trade It All record tonight, and that is the goal, to get through the entire thing, and I'm super excited for it. That first one was called For Your Glory. I wrote that song specifically for my daughter, as we were watching her be healed from heart surgery when she was 16 days old, and 8 days later we were able to take her home. And during that 8 days is when that song was written, just being able to see how God healed her through the hands of the doctors and the nurses there, and it was going so well that the the doctors and nurses that were in charge of her didn't want to release her or let her go to the step-down unit because they were so scared that it was going so well, there had to be something that was going wrong. And we just give God the glory for that and everything else that we do in our lives. May what we do reflect good on Him, but ultimately give Him the glory for everything that we do, including singing, which is what I absolutely love to do. And this next song was written specifically about how there's a lot of things in life that sometimes maybe we make too black and white. There's a lot of gray area in life. I know there are some things that are definitely firm truths that we need to hold on to. But at the same time, there's definitely room to be able to love where truth and grace can meet in the middle. And that's the reason for this song. It's called In the Gray. Not because I understand it all and I know exactly what you're supposed to do, but specifically because I believe there is a point in the gray where we truly get to love other people. Oh, it's not easy to understand, it's not easy, but I'm gonna try. Never been so humble when I am looking through another's eyes. Walk a mile in someone else's shoes. Walk a mile down the middle of the street. Don't deny the present truth, even though it's a daily reality. 'Cause life ain't always so black and white. There's right and wrong on both sides, fueled by fear and intolerance. It's time we reverse this trend. Stop looking the other way. Start living in the gray. Oh, I am a product of my surroundings. I am a product of my own thoughts. I don't have to let it stay this way. I can choose to not blindly obey. 'Cause life ain't always so black and white. There's right and wrong on both sides, fueled by fear and intolerance. It's time to reverse this trend. Stop looking the other way. Start living in the gray. Fueled by fear and intolerance. It's time we reverse this trend. Stop looking the other way. Living in the gray. Living in the gray. Living in the gray. It's so true, and a lot of times where we think that there may be some moments where we have the opportunity to be able to go back on just what we think is right, it's good to be able to go and just reaffirm that what we believe to be true is true. This next song was one that I wish I didn't have to write, quite honestly. And I didn't have to write it, I wrote it because I wanted to. After I said my daughter had her open heart surgery, 6 months later, our friends, in fact, the buddy of mine who actually has played bass on a lot of my songs, their firstborn was born. And we were super excited to be able to welcome Emery into the world. We got to see them the day that she was born, and it was crazy hectic. It was an emergency C-section, and everything was going well. And my wife and I left to go on vacation. And unfortunately, we got a call 2 days later that said that Emery was no longer with us. and that she had gone home to be with the Lord. And my heart broke. I didn't know what to do. I drove back to Fort Wayne to just basically be a friend. In times like that, I've never planned an infant's funeral. I've never been a part of that. I wish nobody had to be a part of that. And yet I found myself in this huge whirlwind of just trying to be the best friend that I could be. And we had a lot of conversations with our friends, and she had said that it was just really, really hard to be able to listen to Christian radio. In fact, she said that she couldn't listen anymore because things were just so, to her, seemingly fake. Everything was just butterflies and rainbows, and everything was fantastic, and it was just so happy, clappy, and amazing that it just didn't fit her faith walk at the moment, where it was dark, and there were a lot of things that she was just trying to deal with, and it's okay to not be okay. This song is called Emery, Love You Still, because it was a prayer not only for them, it was written to be able to be a song that she could listen to, and know that not only does her daughter love her, even though she's not here, but God can take our anger, he can take our frustration. He's big enough to love us, and he will still love us even when we doubt and even when we struggle. I feel like I swallowed a knife and cut down deep inside. Nothing short of a miracle would take this hurt away. As each moment passes by, the weight of my greatest fear arises, holding me below the surface where I can barely breathe. With empty hands and a broken soul, I want you back, but God said no. With endless tears I plead my case. It was never supposed to be this way. I don't understand, and I never will. I love you still. Life will never be the same. You changed our world in so many ways. There will always be a void your life is meant to fill. I am angry, hurt and afraid. Never thought I could feel this way, but I feel like part of me was stolen away. With empty hands and a broken soul, I want you back, but God said no. With endless tears I plead my case. It was never supposed to be this way. I don't understand, and I never will. I love you still. You were only here for a little while, but I'll never forget you, my child. a broken soul. I want you back, but God said no. With endless tears I plead my case. It was never supposed to be this way. I don't understand, and I never will. I love you still. I love you still. Like I said, it was a sad song to write, and it's not one that I wish upon anybody, but the fact that I was able to sing and run towards the pain of a friend, I count it as an honor and a privilege to have been a part of Emery's story. And that song and her life are still impacting people today. And I would be remiss if I didn't use this opportunity to tell you that there are other people just like Emery and Emery's mom and dad that are struggling every single day and may not have a chance at life. But there is something that you can do about it. I partner with a fantastic organization called Holt International, and I would love it if tonight, if Emery's song would allow you the opportunity to be able to sponsor a child and make sure that there are other kids that can continue to live and walk in this world. There are 15,000 kids that die every single day because of preventable diseases. And we have an opportunity, not only as just people and humans, but as believers, to be able to step up and to be able to change people's lives forever. I have a lot of these children's folders. Every single one of them represents a child, and I would love it if you would be willing to honor these kids by sponsoring one of them. I sponsor children, and a part of being a dad is loving and caring for your own kids, and I definitely think that these kids are just like my own. They're just an extension of my family. And quite frankly, I would love it if my family continued to extend. And because you guys are a part of this group, because you like my music, because you enjoy being a part of just this community here, I would love it if you'd extend your family as well. So if you're interested in sponsoring a child tonight, I would love nothing more than to be able to get in contact with you. I'm going to put up my cell phone number. And what I'd like you to do is, if you would be willing to sponsor a kid tonight, all I want you to do is just text Holt International, H-O-L-T International, to that number as I play this next song. And I'll contact you either tonight or tomorrow, and we'll get you all signed up. It's $39 a month. It's not a cheap investment, but saving kids' lives is something that's definitely worth it, and I would love for you to be a part of that. So this next song is one that quite frankly, was a fun one to write for me. I love upbeat songs, but this is the reason why we can have hope in this life, and the reason why we can extend our families and reach out to other people by sponsoring children is because we have something far greater that we continue to cling to, and that our hope rests. Cling to the cross where salvation rests, broken for us so we'd know righteousness, eternally grateful for Christ's precious blood. Oh, cling to the cross where God justified us. Cling to the cross where our Savior bled, taking God's wrath as he bowed his head. It is finished was his cry. Oh, cling to the cross where the Lamb had died. To the cross we shall cling, all our hope and all we need. Dead to sin, raised to life, Christ our Lord be glorified. Cling to the cross where the price was paid, not only from our sin but made perfect in our ways. taking off the old man and putting on the new. Oh, cling to the cross with all that we do. To the cross we shall cling, all our hope and all we need. Dead to sin, raised to life, Christ our Lord be glorified. Cling to the cross and you can truly live, laying all our sin down to be sacrificed to Him. Someday He's coming back to rule and reign. So cling to the cross where salvation knows your name. To the cross we shall cling, all our hope and all we need. Dead to sin, raised to life, Christ our Lord be glorified. To the cross we shall cling, all our hope and all we need. Dead to sin, raised to life, Christ our Lord be glorified. Christ our Lord be glorified. Like I said, that's an absolutely fun song that I love. I'm going to take the number down. There will be another chance during this if you are interested in sponsoring a child. I'll put that number back up there, but that way my phone number is not out there for everybody to see for too long. But yeah, I would love it if you guys would be interested in really sponsoring a child as an answer to another family's prayer. And I would love nothing more than for you guys to be a part of answering other people's prayer. There are a couple other links that are tagged in this post as well. One of them is for the new single Sing Along, which is released on October 1st. Super pumped for that. There's a link for you to be able to pre-save that. There's also a link to my merch store in general. I know some of you guys were asking for puzzles and shirts and hats and that sort of thing, and that's available there. And then, of course, you can get the free starter pack and the VIP bundle. Those are not in the merch store, just because those are compiled with a bunch of things from the merch store. So if you want a killer deal, starter pack actually includes the In the Gray CD. So if you absolutely love all these songs, that's a great way to be able to get it at a much cheaper price. So once again, thank you guys for being here. Brandy, Christy, Rhonda, Elizabeth, Cheryl. I'm seeing so many cool. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here. And as I'm going through this record, I'm just remembering all the different things that were happening as I was writing all this stuff. It's just crazy to me how God continues to use things that happen in our lives in crazy and amazing ways to be able to touch the lives of others. That's the definition of a testimony, is just your life story and how God's interacted with you and shown His grace. And this is just a song of reminder. There are times where I was working a job that I really just did not enjoy whatsoever at all. It was really hard on me. It was hard on my family. And it took long nights of conversations with my wife, wondering whether or not it was something we should continue to do, or whether we should step out in faith and go live the dream. And I know that not everybody has the opportunity or the willingness to step out in faith like we did. And it's okay. God still designed us to be able to interact and love each other with where we are. And this song was written specifically for the moments in our lives that we are that we're just wondering what we're doing and why God has us there. And I will say, if God has you in a specific spot right now where you're not sure what's going on, He's working through it. There's a purpose for where you are. There's a purpose for joy, and there's a purpose for pain. And sometimes we just need a reminder that we're sojourners, we're travelers in a completely foreign land. losing sleep every time she cries. A mother's love never dies. Someday she'll grow up and leave, but right now her love is all she needs. Bright and early and out the door, home later than the day before. He works hard so they can live, providing all he can for them. And all that life demands can take more than it gives. And whatever becomes of us, may they know how we live as sojourners in a foreign land. Time is money and talk is cheap. Only heads are paid to speak. Give me time and I will prove I'm more than just what I do. And all that life demands can take more than it gives. And whatever becomes of us, may they know how we live as sojourners in a foreign land. The reason, the drive, passion beating, keeping us alive every day and every hour. More than just trying to survive, not the what, but the why. We wake up side by side, face the day, holding on, living proof where we belong. And all that life demands can take more than it gives. In whatever becomes of us, may they know how we lived as sojourners in a foreign land, as sojourners in a foreign land. We are just travelers walking through, and the problem with being a traveler sometimes is it's easy to get in a little bit of trouble, if you know what I'm saying. I think all of us have had different issues with run-ins with sin and other things we know we're not supposed to be doing, even if it's stealing cookies out of the cookie jar, which I may or may not be guilty of that recently, but I will say this, I did pay for the cookies, so I don't know if it counts as stealing. But anyway, there are times in my life where I found that I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Denise, Rhonda, Christy, thank you guys so much. Bonnie, thank you. I appreciate that so much. And I've heard sin be personified as, well, actually, in Scripture, sin is personified as a lover, as a woman of ill repute. keeping it completely PG. And thought of those were mulling over my head as I've been reading through Proverbs and just realizing that if we call sin what it is, it's ugly, disgusting, it hurts more people than just us. It hurts the heart of God. I think if we personify it in a way that actually allows it to become more detestable, it's going to be something that's going to be not 100% foolproof way to never sin again. But it definitely reminds us that God loves us deeply, and he is a far better husband to his bride than a husband that I am to my bride. And that's a challenge to me, to try to love my wife deeper and more faithfully every single day. But this song was specifically written on the personification of sin being something that's just trying to come and have a one-night stand, to try to entice us into something that ultimately will kill us. This is called Nothing More. Promised the world, promised you life, gave just enough, but never satisfied, and kept you searching for something more, left you knowing what was in store. 'Cause she's a lover and will never be nothing more. Nothing more, nothing more, nothing more, nothing more. 'Cause she's a lover and will never be nothing more. Good or bad, or even worse, she'll hold your hand, treat you like a curse, and take your love, but hold on tight, and give her all she asks. She'll cut like a knife, 'cause she's a lover and will never be nothing more. Nothing more, nothing more, nothing more, nothing more. She's a lover and will never be nothing more. Right on in, just to leave a one-night stand, infectious disease. Only love can stand against the gates of hell. And though she beckons, I bid farewell. She's a lover and will never be nothing more. Promise me this, if she asks. I've loved another who's forgiven my past. Don't let her stay even the night. Do yourself a favor and just say goodbye. 'Cause she's a lover and will never be nothing more. Amen. Hey, thank you guys so much. Denise, honestly, and Rhonda, thank you guys so much for being here. Yes, he does wash away all of our sins, and all we need to do is ask. And he is a loving Father that has loved us far better than anyone else ever could, and he is one who's forgiven everything that's in our past as well. Which, continuing on the theme, which is super fantastic and fun, not really, is realizing that we do fail. And this is probably honestly one of my favorite songs that I wrote specifically for my wife. It was written as a duet. We actually sing it together on the record. And since I usually sing by myself, I end up changing things a little bit so that I can sing it and it still makes sense. But the idea of marriage being something that allows us to have full community and full faith in one another, and good communication. And I just equate it to a glass house. When you live in a glass house, you can see through walls, windows, doors, doesn't matter, you can see everything. And I think for our marriage, at least for my wife and I, it's been really good for us to make sure that we always have open communication with each other. Even the other day, we were having some frustration just because neither of us had done a good job of communicating that. The morning, both of us had expectations and thoughts on how things were supposed to go, and unfortunately, we didn't let the other one know. And it really just came down to the fact that both of us ended up just apologizing and saying, you know what, like, I'm sorry for having a frustrating part of the day. And it takes the willingness to be humble and admit that you're wrong in order to be able to live in a house of glass. It's very, very fragile. I believe marriage is fragile, but it's something that can both be protected. But it has to be protected by both parties. It can't be just held together by one. And especially for those of you, I know there have been a lot of you that have commented recently that you've lost your spouse of a lot of years and had that lifelong partner, and God's called them home. And I just want to let you know it's with my deepest gratitude. And thanks for allowing me to be a part of your life. And honestly, I'm so deeply sorry. And I know someday it may be me going first, or it may be my wife. And we'll be able to share at that point in time the exact same thoughts and feelings. But from me to you tonight, thank you so much for being willing to share what's broken in your life and what hurts, so that others can be a part of your healing and can come around you and give you even just virtual hugs. You guys have been a huge example. There have been so many people that have blessed my wife and I by living out their faithful commitments to their spouse, their wedding vows of till death do us part. And it is very, very bittersweet knowing that they're in the presence of Jesus, but at the same time knowing that they're not present with us here today. And I can't wait until that glorious day where you guys will allow me to be able to meet your spouses that are off in heaven, and we get to celebrate who Christ is and what he's done for all of us together. And what a glorious day that will be. For now, though, we sing this song called Glass House. And I have cheated, and I have lied. I'm not the kind of man that you wanted to find. But there is grace in your love, and you'll forgive far more than what's been done. And trading this scarlet letter for words penned in red. Gonna build us a little glass house where we can live together and work our problems out. No place to run but to each other, no place to hide but in the arms of one another. Gonna build a place where love can last, and out of glass. And I'm not perfect, I am flawed. Tried to be the one that I think you want, but
There's no bar you have to clear. I want you and only you, no one else compares. I'm trading this scarlet letter for words penned in red. Gonna build us a little glass house where we can live together, to work our problems out. No place to run but to each other, no place to hide but in the arms of one another. Gonna build a place where love can last, and out of glass. Don't give up on me and God's plan for us to be. Gonna build us a little glass house where we can live together and work our problems out. No place to run but to each other, and no place to hide but in the arms of one another. Gonna build a place where love can last. Gonna build a place where love can last. Gonna build a place where love will last, and out of glass. Out of glass. And, I must have been thinking a lot about my marriage during this record, because not only did I write about living in a glass house, I wrote a song about going for walks. Because when my wife and I first moved up to Fort Wayne, we had just gotten married about 3 months previous to that, and we lived in a really small apartment. And the only place that we felt like we could go and have talks together was when we just went for walks around our apartment complex. And so our apartment complex wasn't very big, so we would make multiple laps around this place. And it was just fun for us. It was a great way to go out and do something, get some exercise, and really be able to just get to know each other. And not for any reason to go on a walk other than just to hang out with my wife. And I think sometimes the culture has just made marriage and relationships way too complicated, where you have to go to a movie, which is you sitting next to somebody and watching a screen, or going to a really loud restaurant, or going out and spending a ton of money to go on a cruise, or like, you were allowed to have relationships with people, especially your spouse, by like walking outside. You don't have to spend a ton of money. You don't have to do anything ridiculously crazy. You literally just have to spend time with the person that you want to relate to. And that's what this song is all about, is just it's going for walks. Let's go for a walk. Let's take a stroll. No need to drive 1,000 miles when we have this quiet road. Breathe in the air, one step at a time. Get out in the open and leave distractions behind. I don't need an excuse to spend more time with you. Let's go for a walk together. Let's go and talk about whatever is on your mind, in your heart. I wanna know just who you are. Let's go for a walk. Let's turn off our phones, take the TV off, give us room in the air for us to just talk. Open the shades, let the sunlight in, expose all our fears to each other so we can begin. I don't need an excuse to spend more time with you. Let's go for a walk together. Let's go and talk about whatever is on your mind, in your heart. I wanna know just who you are. Let's go for a walk. Let me get to know you heart and soul. Draw closer as we grow old. Let's go for a walk together. Let's go and talk about whatever is on your mind, in your heart. I wanna know just who you are. Let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk. I don't need an excuse to spend more time with you. Let's go for a walk. So good. And I really did love those walks. And honestly, my wife and I still spend time now that we don't live in that small little apartment and we live on some land. It's still nice for us to just go and dream and talk about how we want our family to be and really what our goals are in life. I mean, ultimately, the large goal is to glorify God and to build and love and train up a family of people who want to be worshipers of Him and glorify Him in everything that they say and do. But there's still small little goals of being able to take our homestead and make it self-sustaining and musically to continue to be able to love you guys through writing more songs and touring and doing more music and coming out to meet and see you guys. So again, thank you guys so much for being here. There are links that are in the bio that allow you to be able to go and see some of the stuff I have in the merch store, be able to pre-save sing-along. That helps me out a ton because it tells Spotify that my music is actually worth putting in other people's accounts. And, of course, you can get your starter pack and VIP bundle through there as well. And then there is a virtual tip jar link right here down below. If you want to just support my family and music, you can do that there as well. And, of course, our family, our beautiful little family, wouldn't have started had my wife and I not gotten married. And I don't know about you guys, but a lot of people remember the first time that they said, I love you to their spouse or their significant other. It tends to be a core memory of sorts. And I remember the first time that I said, I love you to my wife. And she responded with, that's nice. Kid you not. You can ask her about that someday, but it's all true. And she wanted to say, I love you to her spouse and only her spouse. So any guy that she dated or she liked, she just never said, I love you until the day I proposed. And when I proposed to her, then she said, I love you. which is super sweet, except for the fact that there were months between when I told her I loved her and when she reciprocated in verbal form. So the whole time I'm wondering, like, is this going anywhere? Because I'm about to propose and she hasn't even told me she loved me yet. So anyway, this song is specifically about that interaction, both of them, when I said I loved you the first time and when she said I love you back. We were staring up, looking at the stars, making wishes, they all just fell apart. Young and restless, wild and free, oh, hoping that we would someday be. And looking into her eyes, I said for the first time, when you say you love me, I know it's true. Come storm or rage and see, it won't change the truth. 'Cause when you say you love me, you do. Only when I ask the question, did you let me know that my pursuit to be with you didn't leave me in the cold? And looking into my eyes, she said for the first time, when you say you love me, I know it's true. Come storm or rage and see, it won't change the truth. 'Cause when you say you love me, you do. Three little words changed my world, turned it upside down. I never knew the meaning till it was tested out. 'Cause when you say you love me, and I know it's true, and come storm or rage and see, and it won't change the truth. 'Cause when you say you love me, when you say you love me, I know it's true. Come storm or rage and see, it won't change the truth. 'Cause when you say you love me, when you say you love me, when you say you love me, you do. You do. Whoa. Oh man, I love that song mainly because it allows me to remember the time and how crazy it was in life to be able to be totally emphatically in love with somebody and not know whether or not they felt the same about me. And I'm so thankful that our relationship with the Lord is not that way. We know the fact that He does love us, and there are times when life is hard, and that's okay. I went on to try to write the perfect wedding song, which I actually wrote after we got married, so it wasn't even going to be for our wedding, but just the thought and the process is the same with Glass House. This one's I Do, just remembering the marriage vows that we took, and that we pledged our life to our last breath. And honestly, for a lot of you who've experienced now the fulfillment of your marriage vows up until the very end, I want to dedicate this song to you specifically because you have fulfilled the promise that you've made. And I just want to, again, my heartfelt thanks and gratitude for being here, and also my sympathy and my prayers as well. I know that the pain is not easy, and it's not something that's ever going to go away. It's just something that may change over time. Grief is different for everybody, but I appreciate you engaging and being encouraging to those around you, and being able to use your hurt and your pain in a way that actually can encourage others as well. So this song's for you. This song's called I Do.
Pledge my life to my last breath, instantly would take just that. I promise the unknown with the intent. We're going down with the ship. When the walls start caving in, I will hold on to this promise. I can't tell if I'm wrong or if you're right, but I will stay here by your side to the end. Till the end. There will come a time when I have to go, but it won't be till the Lord calls me home in the end. In the end. So today I choose, and I do. We threw caution to the wind. Whatever came, we would defend. Come high water or raging sea, what got joined can't choose to leave. So when the walls start caving in, I will hold on to this promise. I can't tell if I'm wrong or if you're right, but I will stay here by your side in the end. Until the end. There will come a time when I have to go, but it won't be till the Lord calls me home in the end. In the end. So today I choose, and I do. For better or worse, rich or poor, we'll take whatever the future has in store. In sickness and health, to love and embrace, we're bound to each other and stronger each day. I can't tell if I'm wrong or if you're right, but I will stay here by your side till the end. In the end. There will come a time when I have to go, but it won't be till the Lord calls me home in the end. In the end. So today I So today I choose, and I do.
Amen. Thank you guys so much for being here. I truly do appreciate every single one of you. You guys are awesome and absolute rock stars. And I just want to take a moment to thank you for being a part of my life and allowing me to interrupt your life with music. I believe every single one of you was created on purpose with a purpose. And my goal is to write and create music that comforts the afflicted and confronts the comfortable. And I don't want that just to be people who are here tonight. I'd love for that to be a whole slew of other people who weren't able to make it this evening, who may watch this in the future, and honestly, for people who may never get a chance to actually hear my music at all. That's the reason why I want to partner with Holt International and be able to sponsor children. I'll throw my text number up there, my phone number. You can go ahead and just text if you're interested in sponsoring a child, and I would encourage you to do so. Just text Holt International, HOLT International, to that number. It'll allow me to be able to find your information, and then I'll give you a call. We'll get a chance to chat on the phone and get you signed up to be able to change a child's life and their family's life forever, starting tonight. So I appreciate every single thing that you guys have done for me and allowed me to be able to create and write music. When I left my job a year ago, that did a great job of providing financially for my family. It was a huge step of faith, and it was one that, quite honestly, I didn't know if it was going to work out or not. And there are times still to this day that I'm not 100% sure if it's working out, but honestly, the testament of you guys being here tonight just proves the fact that maybe I'm doing exactly what God's called me to do. I truly believe that this is the perfect intersection of being able to connect with people, to be able to comfort the afflicted and confront the comfortable at the same time, to use His truth through music to be able to do so. So I just appreciate you guys being a part of that journey and being willing to be a part of my life and my music. And thank you guys again so much. Definitely check the links out listed below. There's a lot of cool stuff. And if there's an idea that you have for a shirt, a sticker, a hat, a puzzle, let me know, and we'll make it. And that way you guys can get the stuff that you actually want. Again, my goal through writing and making music is to serve you guys. I don't view this as some quick or get rich quick scheme. Honestly, if I can provide for my family and continue to serve and love other people, that's the whole goal. And that's my heart, my passion, and my desire is to glorify God through being able to interact and serve other people the best that I possibly can. So again, thank you for allowing me to do that tonight. I have a final song for you. Then this is kind of how the record starts, is by singing just the simple song of This Little Light of Mine, and taking that thought process into just living life in a way that's in the gray, in an area where we want to reach out and lend a helping hand in a way that maybe we don't necessarily know how. But the beauty of being a light in this world is that you are a city on a hill. In fact, I remember distinctly writing this song, looking out of a Dunkin' Donuts and listening to Need to Breathe, one of my favorite bands of all time, and being able to see a steeple on a church. And just realizing that the steeple on churches doesn't really have a whole lot of practical purpose. It used to be for bell towers and that sort of thing, and there's still steeples that are put up on churches, even in modern architecture. But what it was supposed to be was a symbol of hope, of knowing that if you were in trouble, you could run there, and there would be people who would love you and who would care. And I would love for nothing more than for us as people, not to take back the steeple and throw it on our houses, but to be the steeple in people's lives, to be the lighthouse that's willing to point where the rocks are on the shore, no matter who the people are, to be able to love them in a way that continues to show them who Christ is, just because of how much we love each other, how much we love our families, and by extension, that all bleeds out into how we love other human beings that are created in the image of God. This song is called Let It Shine.
Where you are, where you've been, Doesn't matter, there's no excuses. Once you know, once you believe, you can't help but stand and sing. A city on a hill, a steeple in the sky, this little light, I'm gonna let it shine. Left to tell the world, one person at a time, to the whole world hears. You gotta be the light and let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. You are where you go, you will be a pointing home to the lost and to the wandering. Share the truth and let them see. A city on a hill, a steeple in the sky, this little light, I'm gonna let it shine. Left to tell the world, one person at a time, till the whole world hears. You gotta be the light and let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. A city on a hill, a steeple in the sky, this little light, I'm gonna let it shine. Left to tell the world, one person at a time, till the whole world hears. You gotta be the light, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Oh man, thank you guys so much. It is fantastic, and it's been awesome for me to be able to just love on you guys tonight and be able to spend tonight together. I don't take it for granted. It has definitely been something that I truly do appreciate every single one of you for being here. I believe before the dawn of creation that God allowed tonight to be able to exist and to happen specifically so that we could encourage each other, to lift each other up and to fill each other in such a way that we can go out and be a light to other people, that we can love the world in such a way that they know who God is because of how we love each other and how we can love them as well. So thank you guys so much for being here. You guys are awesome. I believe every single one of you was created on purpose with a purpose, and I can't wait to see how you go and live and walk in that. I know there's pain and there's sorrow, and there's definitely things in this life that can seemingly get us down, and I just want to let you know that God is still good, even when we don't feel it. And I would love to be able to allow my ministry to continue to bless other people, So if you'd like to do that, either through the virtual tip jar or if you'd like to sponsor a child tonight, please do so. Just text the number Holt International. If there's anything else that I can be doing for you, please feel free to reach out, because I would love to do everything that I possibly can to be able to help you guys out in any way that I can. So thank you guys so much. You guys are absolute rock stars, and I appreciate every single one of you. I almost don't even want this night to end, but unfortunately, I only wrote that many songs on the CD. But we will have to do this again soon. We will get back together. There's plenty of other songs that I've written. There's a couple more EPs and things of collections of songs, and I can't wait to share those with you and continue to do life together. So thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic rest of your evening. Feel free to share this video. I'm going to leave it live or leave it up for a while so you can share it with family and friends. Anybody that you think would actually be encouraged by it, definitely let them know about it, and hopefully we can get the word out and allow other people to be encouraged by it as well. So thanks so much. You guys are awesome. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your night. I love you all, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks so much.